this video guys, we'll have a look at the gross anatomy of the cerebellum. The cerebellum is located at the posterior region of the brain. It is known for its special role in motor control, coordination, balance and learning. Where exactly is the cerebellum located? The cerebellum is situated inferior to the occipital and temporal lobes of the cerebrum and posterior to the brainstem. It rests within the posterior cranial fossa. Remember, we also have the anterior and middle cranial fossa. The cranial fossa is just a cavity in the skull base. Let's have a look at the overall structure of the cerebellum. The cerebellum comprises of two hemispheres connected by a midline structure called the vermis. The surface of the cerebellum is characterized by prominent folds and fissures, increasing its prominent surface area significantly without enlarging its overall volume. These folds are called the folia, with deeper grooves known as fissures. Let's look at the lobes and the areas of the cerebellum. Each cerebellar hemisphere has three lobes which have specific function they perform. The first lobe is the anterior lobe. It is involved in planning and initiating movements. The second lobe is the posterior lobe. This lobe is crucial for balance and coordination. The last lobe is the frontonodular lobe. The frontonodular lobe plays a role in eye movements and vestibular function, that is, balance and spatial orientation. Just like other regions of the brain, the cerebellum consists of gray and white matter. The gray matter, which is also called the cortex, forms the outermost layer and contains a whole lot of neuronal cells bodies, which are responsible for processing of information. The white matter, on the other hand, lies below the gray matter. It can also be regarded as the medulla. It is composed of mainly of myelinated nerve fibers that connect different parts of the cerebellum and also connect the cerebellum to other brain regions. Let's have a look at the different nuclei associated with the cerebellum. Embedded within the white matter are four groups of interconnected nuclei. These nuclei are the fastigial nucleus, the globus nucleus, the embelliform nucleus, and finally the dentate nucleus. The fastigial nucleus projects to the brainstem, influencing posture and balance. The globulus and embelliform nuclei are involved in coordinating voluntary movement, while the dentate nucleus contributes to the motor learning and skill acquisition. Let's have a look at the different cerebellar peduncles. The cerebellum is associated with three pairs of cerebellar peduncles. There are three pairs of nerve fiber bundles which connect the cerebellum to the brainstem and other brain regions. The three pairs of cerebellar peduncles are the superior peduncle, the middle peduncle, and the inferior peduncle. The superior peduncle carries information from the cerebrum and thalamus to the cerebellum. The middle peduncle relays information from the brainstem and the spinal cord to the cerebellum, while the inferior peduncle carries information from the cerebellum to the brainstem and spinal cord, influencing motor output. Let's briefly look at the ventricles associated with the cerebellum. The cerebellum contains a small fluid-like cavity which is called the fourth ventricle. The fourth ventricle connects other brain ventricles and plays a role in cerebrospinal fluid circulation. When we have a proper understanding of the gross anatomy of the cerebellum, we can easily appreciate the vital contribution of the cerebellum to movement, coordination, balance, and learning. Don't forget to subscribe and share. See you in the next video.